Hello, everybody. Blitzball Champ here is back with a brand new video here on YouTube. So, I know I'm gonna go into a deep discussion about this on the Team Galgo YouTube channel as well when we do the Team Galgo Wrestling podcast, but I just had to take time to give my thoughts personally on the recent WWE Superstar Shake Up. So I just want to kind of go through the rundown with all the acquisitions and all the trades and stuff like that. Mango green tea, delicious. So let's get started. I got the site up currently. So I'm just going from the top of the list, starting with all the superstars that went to SmackDown. Roman Reigns. So it was teased by Vince McMahon that Elias was the big greatest signing to SmackDown and SmackDown history, but I mean, of course we know. Roman Reigns shows up, Superman punches Vince, spears Elias. So I mean, it's obvious Roman Reigns, is now on SmackDown. He's the big greatest signing. I figured it was either going to be Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. So there you go. Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor. Okay, this was really weird to me because he just had a non-title match on Raw against Andrade, which Andrade pinned Finn Balor, and now all of a sudden he's officially on the SmackDown roster, championship and all. I really don't understand what they were doing with that. They could have had an excellent feud between Andrade and Finn Balor and could have easily made Andrade a contender for the Intercontinental title, but, well, that plan just got scrapped. Elias, which, I'd mentioned earlier, which he's on the blue brand now after Vince McMahon brought him in. I really don't have much to say about that. Just instead of seeing him on Raw so much, he's going to be on SmackDown now. So, walk with Elias on SmackDown now. Bayley. Now, so it looks like now she's officially now back to being a singles wrestler. I just thought it was really interesting that she had just recently had a match on Raw, teamed up with Naomi, and defeated the Iconics. And now she's, official member of SmackDown. So, yeah, interesting turn of events there. Ember Moon, which I do kind of like Ember Moon being on SmackDown. I'm hoping that she will get more recognition, that she will get more matches, and just more of the spotlight. Her run on Raw was really terrible. And, I know she had the setback with injuries, but her run on Raw was terrible. So I'm really hoping she has a better run on SmackDown. Let's see. Kairi Sane. Okay, so Kairi Sane got teamed up with Asuka, brought in by Paige, as her super secret, brand new, indestructible, future women's tag team champion team of Asuka and Kairi Sane. Number one, I do like the team. Very cool. 2 Japanese female wrestlers teamed up. Really cool. But I just really have mixed feelings about just the future of this pairing that just really stand out to me. Number one, I definitely see them as a big threat to the Iconics for their tag team titles because honestly, they really need to do something with the Iconics as far as, cheating to win matches or just whatever they got to do because right now they have like the worst win loss ratio. I mean, they've only won one match since winning the tag team titles against some no name random women's tag team. And now, they just recently lost to Naomi and Bailey, and they lost in an eight woman tag team match on SmackDown. So it's like, I mean, this team is a joke. The only thing is they're a legitimate team. They are a legitimate team, but it's like I really feel like they should have originally been the ones to win the tag team titles first instead of Sasha Banks and Bailey. But I mean, I get it. It's just right now they really don't look like a formidable tag team, So, and they're a heel comedy act. So I just really feel like they need to book them to get some wins. Even if they have to cheat every time, so be it. But they need to start getting some wins because right now they're not tag team champion material right now. They're just not. But back to Kairi Sane and Asuka. So it looks like, number one, they're definitely a threat to the champion. So I like that. Two, I really like what they can do in the ring together as far as, double team moves and chemistry. That's definitely there instantly. So I like that. What I'm worried about is Paige being the manager is interesting. I would have liked this sort of thing to have happened way before either of those two got the chance to speak. Which, when it comes to mic skills, I mean, I give the edge to Kairi Sane. But I just really feel like because we all know that have been watching and following, know Kairi Sane on the mic and Asuka on the mic. And, I understand the language barrier and Asuka's English, probably isn't on par with Shinsuke's or Kairi's or even Io's. And Io's mom's is an English teacher. So, and Io Shirai speaks pretty dang on good English. But my thing is, if they needed a mouthpiece for Asuka, I really feel like they should have done that in the beginning when she first debuted. Now I just have this feeling that Paige is, gonna be the mouthpiece for this team. And for Asuka, I can kind of understand, but for Kairi, not so much. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I have mixed feelings about Paige as their manager, but I mean, I get it. I do get it. Also, wondering about the future as far as potentially bringing in Io Shirai down the road. But, I mean, if Io's going to be... I assume Io's going to be on NXT for at least another year. If she's, potentially going to be booked to the throne, Shayna Baszler, and win her first NXT Women's Championship, I hope that at some point a stable will finally form with all three of these ladies, and I think that would be very, very awesome and would dominate, like just a pure Joshi wrestling stable in those three. But we'll have to see. But right now, Kairi Sane and Asuka as a team is as close as we can get for now. Lars Sullivan is officially SmackDown, which honestly, I just really don't know what to expect because, I mean, he's been randomly destroying folks. He destroyed Kurt Angle, destroyed R-Truth, destroyed the Hardy Boys, destroyed Rey Mysterio, and it's just like, I mean, this is his main roster debut, finally. So, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what they're gonna do with Lars Sullivan. It really just it, it's just out there. It's out there. That's all I can say. Uh, Buddy Murphy, the former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Buddy Murphy, is going to be on SmackDown. Well, Ali is on SmackDown, so I mean, huh? This maybe a rivalry right there might start, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with Buddy Murphy. You know, that's the cruiserweight that gets called up from 205 Live to SmackDown. So that's interesting. I'm very curious to see what direction they take Buddy Murphy in. Which I guess now that means they need to find some new competition for Tony Nese. So, huh. uh, Liv Morgan. So they're breaking up the Riot Squad. So Liv Morgan to SmackDown. Uh, I mean, at least the Riot Squad got a chance to do some stuff together and actually got a chance to be featured during their time on Raw. So it wasn't all in vain, even though, they did get demolished on multiple occasions, especially Ruby Riot. But at least they got a chance to do stuff. They got a chance to, riot on Raw. So, I mean, it's a bummer that they're breaking that stable up. But, I mean, you still got Ruby Riot and Sarah Logan on Raw. So, I mean, Liv Morgan as a singles wrestler again. We'll just see what happens. Chad Gable. So they're breaking up the team of Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Not sure what to expect, but Chad Gable's on SmackDown. Oh man, if only Jason Jordan was there. American Alpha reunion, yeah. Apollo Crews. I really hope they showcase Apollo Crews on SmackDown. I think, he would have a good chance to make some noise if they could book him right. I think Apollo Crews can make some noise. I just hope he gets a chance to get showcased on SmackDown. I mean, he was starting to get showcased more on Raw, but that was pretty much close to this point. So I mean, we'll see. And Mickie James, which, man, I totally forgot about Mickie James, to be honest with you. But she's going to the Blue Brand. So the Blue Brand with Kairi Sane, Asuka, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Bayley, Ember Moon, the Iconics. I mean, I think, Carmella. I think you got a pretty strong women's division now on SmackDown. I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say that they got a pretty strong women's division on SmackDown. So I can dig that. I just hope that it goes well. Oh, Charlotte, of course. So I mean, they got a strong women's division on SmackDown to work with. So we'll see how that goes. All right, now let's look at the list of superstars that are going to Raw. The phenomenal AJ Styles. Wow, so it's been a long time since AJ Styles has been on Raw, so it'll be really interesting to see how things go. Especially with him and Seth Rollins on the same roster now. Definitely looking forward to see how they book AJ Styles. This will be interesting. This will definitely be interesting. We got The Miz, who pretty much showed himself immediately on Raw, attacking Shane McMahon. So, The Miz is back on Raw. Not sure what to expect from that. I mean, I would think that the rivalry is going to continue with Shane McMahon, but if Shane's, still overseeing SmackDown, I guess maybe not. So, Ricochet and Aleister Black are officially Raw roster. And I guess they're still going to be used as a tag team, which, I don't know. I never really liked the idea of them being like a tag team, to be honest with you. But I mean, if anything, they got a lot of camera time, a lot of matches, between NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, and even the pay-per-views. So I mean, they've gotten a lot of camera time. So this really isn't a big shocker because they've really already had a lot of time. So it's just now we know that they're Raw. They're Raw branded now. So oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Eric and Ivar, the Viking Experience. Are you kidding me? The Viking Experience, formerly the War Raiders. They make their main roster debut on Raw. They not only have new names in Eric and Ivar, but their tag team name is now the Viking Experience. Now, let me clarify. So apparently, Vince and creative, I guess, changed the name because Vince doesn't like the word war. Supposedly, that's the reason for the name change. Still doesn't really explain why the wrestlers themselves had to have their names changed. They could have still used Hanson and Rowe. And I guess they're heels now. They're heels now, which I really don't understand that. But they're still the NXT Tag Team Champions, I guess. But here's what I don't understand. So on SmackDown and such, they can call Ember Moon the War Goddess, but yet they can't retain the War Raiders. That makes no sense to me at all. And honestly, Vince is just being Vince. I mean, yeah, there's no excuse for that. I mean, I want to say that at first I kind of understand, the reason, changing the name, not having war in the name, but yeah, it's still allowed for Ember Moon to be called the War Goddess, but they can't use War Raiders? Makes no sense. No excuse for that. Moving on. Andrade and Zelina Vega on Raw. As I said previously, I was kind of bummed out that Finn Balor got moved to SmackDown, especially after losing in a non-title match to Andrade. I would have really loved to see a feud between those two, but guess they got to start from scratch on that one. I'm really hoping Zelina Vega will wrestle more. I mean, still manage Andrade, but I really hope that she will wrestle more. She really hasn't done much wrestling outside of pay-per-views and like the once in a blue moon match on SmackDown, if she's even had like two or three. But I really hope to see her wrestle more on Raw. I think it would really, really help, especially the women's division on Raw. Rey Mysterio. Uh, Sad that he got destroyed by Lars Sullivan. But I mean, yeah, there's no telling what's gonna happen with Rey Mysterio on Raw. I mean, he came in and interrupted Elias, so I mean, I don't know. Rey Mysterio is kind of up in the air for me. Uh, the Usos. The Usos are on Raw now, which I think it was said they haven't been on Raw in like 1.5 or 2 years now. So they're back on Raw. And you know what? It's a nice little change for them. Cause Naomi is on Raw as well. So the couple of Jimmy and Naomi gets to stay together on Raw. So the whole group is on Raw. Uh and Naomi, like I said, she teamed up with Bailey to beat the Iconics, but now I guess Naomi's going to be a singles wrestler on Raw. Uh EC3, which poor EC3. Poor EC3. I mean, had to deal with Braun Strowman and just I don't know what his main roster call up has been sabotaged. Like, just not really worth it. Not really worth it. They could have they could have kept him on NXT a little bit longer. Like, other than this crap. Uh, Lacey Evans. So she's Raw branded and is in a rivalry with Becky Lynch. Recently beat Natalya to earn herself a Raw Women's Championship title shot against Becky Lynch. So I'm just happy that Lacey Evans is going to be wrestling more now. As she actually finished off Natalya with a moonsault. Pretty impressive moonsault. Because I really think she needs a new finisher because that women's right sucks. But maybe now the women's right may be just a signature and not a finisher. And I'm cool with that. Eric Young. So this is really, really sad. So Sanity gets broken up even more. I mean, at first it was Nikki Cross, and now it's Eric Young, the leader of Sanity, is now on Raw. And it's just really, really sad how this went down because Sanity, ever since they debuted on the main roster, they've really not ever have had a chance. They really haven't had a chance to be showcased, to really have any sort of storylines or angles or anything like that. So honestly, their main roster call up was just a big, gigantic bust. So Eric Young as a singles wrestler, it's like there's really nothing for me to really look forward to with that because I mean, Sanity was a bust, and it's sad. It's messed up. It's messed up. And finally, Cedric Alexander, which I mean, it's not like he's never been on Raw before because you have to remember there was a time where the cruiserweights were not only featured on 205 Live, but also on the Raw brand. So this is really no big deal for me. But, I mean, hey, Raw got a cruiserweight and Cedric Alexander. SmackDown got a cruiserweight and Buddy Murphy. So, there you go. But, overall, this Superstar Shake Up, strange, a little bit underwhelming. There were a few good surprises, which, I was okay with, but strange and underwhelming overall. I think SmackDown was a little bit better than Raw, but not by a lot. Definitely not by a lot. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the recent WWE Superstar Shake Up. Uh, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are, and be sure to tune in to the other channel that I'm a part of, Team Galgo, as we do the pro wrestling podcast on Thursday evening. And I'll be going more in depth with this with my partner and fellow co-host Hollywood Cinema. So definitely check that out. But thank y'all so much for watching. This is Blitzball Champ signing off. Have a blessed evening. Peace.